Begin. We are here with
Mick of Uriah Heep. How you doing?
Right.
Happy days.
that's right, and Uriah Heep
always happy days,
keeps
mate.
on going, keeps on going.
Absolutely.
Like around 2007, you guys came back to be a recording artist again. It's been a long time since like the album came out, and all of a sudden you came out probably the most focused you've been in a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
What was happening in the band?
Well, basically, it's quite simple, really. The record business, or the record industry, went into free fall when the internet came along. So, record companies were disappearing, getting smaller, amalgamating, and we couldn't find a home for the band. So we just did what we do best. We went out and toured the world. We played in 61 countries and released some live stuff until it settled down, and then we found a home. With Universal with our first album, Wake Sleep After a Long, Long While. Yeah. So it was about a 10-year hiatus, but it's not because we didn't want to record an album. It's just the record industry was non-existent.
Now, also around that time, you parted with a longtime drummer, Lee Kerslake, and you found a replacement. Could you tell me what happened?
Yeah. Lee left it because of health reasons. And he's still struggling with those reasons now. But we talk very often. We're still good mates. We go out and dinner and have a laugh. Do nothing but laugh when we get together.
So how did you find Russell?
Actually, it was through. We were just doing some auditions, and Trevor Bolder had seen Russ do a drum clinic up the north of England where Trevor lived, and he said, "I've seen this guy. Let's try him out." So they got in touch with each other. He came down, and he was actually the last drummer of a very long, tiring day of auditions, and he came in and made the drum seat his, and he's been there ever since.
So, Wake the Sleeper, can you show the album and say anything we need to know about that record? This is the lovely album.
Look at that. I think it was the idea of Wake the Sleeper was to wake everybody up that Uriah Heep's still alive and kicking, and we recorded that album and it made its mark, and I think it impressed a lot of people, which is good.
The reviews were very positive. I mean, even in Britain, which is...
For us, it's marvellous.
I know it is, because one thing I don't get is Britain has awesome bands, but it also has the harshest critics that whip these bands.
The worst thing about critics is all they do is criticise,
Yeah.
And some of them they don't do constructive, so we tend to ignore them. But we got good reviews for that, and it was good.
And the tour, you made yourself a lot more visible. The album was out, people were talking about Uriah Heep, things were happening again, right?
I think always when you bring a new album out, it focuses, the energy into the band again, and it springs balls from there, really.
Not only that, you played a big portion of that album live, which was really, really good, because those songs, those songs needed to be heard.
Yeah, it was a bit unheard of with lots of bands. Yeah, they usually put one or two tracks in, but we did the whole album plus all the classic hits as well. So
must have been tough because your classic hits. I mean, that's an extensive library.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we were on the stage for over 2 hours plus, but it was great. We loved doing it. Yeah.
And speaking of the classic hits, the follow-up was a re-recording of some of the classic hits.
Yeah, that was called Celebration. Here it is again, folks. And this is really, I think, if you haven't heard of Uriah Heep and you wanted to start somewhere, it's a good calling card because it's got all the hits played, the band at that time, live in the studio, very little overdubs, and it sounds great. It just captures the band in that snapshot of that time, so it's really good.
Okay, but the band didn't stop there. You continue to tour and write music, right?
Always.
And after, it seems like the Wake the Sleeper opened the gates.
It did. It opened up the gates again. Yeah. From that hiatus, yeah.
Because there was another album which you want to introduce.
Yeah, which is Into the Wild. And this is a natural extension from all the others, really. It was a good album again. It just carried on from where Wake the Sleeper started, really, and fans loved it, critics loved it. Happy days. What more do you want?
But then not so happy days followed with Trevor being ill and eventually.
Yeah, Trevor passed away. Unfortunately, he's up in rock and roll heaven with a few of our guys, but. It was very, very sad, but then we found Davey, our bass player now, and of course he came in and he fitted in really well. We were really lucky to get Davey because it's not just replacing one good musician with another, it's a lifestyle as well and friendship. And Davey came straight in, he fitted in with the humour, the look, and everything that Uriah Heep was.
And speaking of Trevor, what are some of your best memories of Trevor? I mean, you spent a lot of years together.
I don't think you've got enough camera footage to do that, mate.
Think of something.
He was just an all-round great guy, one of my best friends, a great bass player, songwriter, singer, everything. He was the the whole 9 yards.
Now, when I think of the rhythm section, both Trevor and Lee were very specific players. So, what did it take of these new guys to really fill that void? Because those are big shoes to fill.
They're big shoes to fill, but that's what I think why Russell became our drummer, because we didn't want when we'd auditioned a load of Lee clones, which we didn't want. You can't get another Lee Kerslake, you know. This is a one-off. So we looked for somebody who had that faithful to what we do, but bring a bit more energy to it, and that's what Russell did. You know, and similarly with Dave, you know, Dave's very aware of the pedigree of bass players we've had come through the band. You know, from Gary Thane to John Wetton to, you know, Trevor to everyone. You know, so he was very faithful to that, and David came on and made the job his own. When they come into Uriah Heep, they come in with the understanding of what we're all about, but also they bring their own thing to it too, which is good.
Now, you just mentioned another alumni who's no longer with us would be John Wetton.
Yeah.
What are your memories of John Wetton's stay in the band?
Great. I mean, we had great fun together. You know, we toured the world together. We had a lot of laughs together, a lot of partying, a lot of good fun. You know, and he was a great player. Again, he was a great player, great writer, great singer. You know, so he had the whole lot too. You know.
And now with Davey in the band, you made one more record right there.
We did, Outsider.
Outsider.
Yeah.
And what can you say about that album?
Yeah. Well, I think that just shows us where we are today. It's a very powerful rock album. Again, received very well by critics and fans alike around the world. It's been really good for us. And of course, now we just finished recording a new album called Living the Dream. We recorded it in 19 days in January of this year, and will be released in September on Frontiers Records.
And what would you describe that album as?
Another Uriah Heep album. What can I tell you? You know, we just don't plan anything. We just go in there and do what comes natural, and then it becomes Uriah Heep.
Now, also, you've mentioned that you play a lot of countries, 61 to be exact, right?
Yeah, exactly, yes. Dubai was the 61st.
Did you ever expect that so many markets will open to you? Back in the day, where only UK and US were available.
No,
and
not
nothing.
at all. No, but there again, Uriah Heep's always been a band that said that we had a saying that if the people can't come to the music, we'll take the music to the people. So we went. That's why we're the first band to play in Russia, in Bulgaria, in Czechoslovakia before we split, and all those countries. You know, so we've always gone out and spent a lot more time trying to get into this. But they were very difficult to play because of the red tape that was involved. But we always went there, East Berlin, all these places. So we were kind of pioneers really, because through our success, the markets opened up as the world changed. And of course, bands go there all the time then.
There were probably a lot of fans who waited for you for many, many decades.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Now, when you meet the fans, I mean, I was here last week when you had the question and answer, and I mean, the best part of it was the testimonials, people saying what it meant to them, as opposed to not even asking a question.
Yeah. I mean, that's wonderful. That does the heart good, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel having such love throughout the world, having such a dedicated fan base?
Well, you can only feel good. You know, it makes you feel great, and it inspires you to continue.
Cool. So we're gonna wrap up the first